Hey guys, stays on Schizophrenia and brand new viewer especial. Schizophrenia, brand new viewer especial. But before we get to this, please allow my brief prelude. As you know, I conveniently recorded it for our mutual comfort, our mutual convenience, and our mutual luxury. And hey, listen, I'm no spring chicken. I know, I get it all the time, people. Spring chicken, spring chicken, spring chicken. Oh, it never ends. Spring chicken. I say, no, I'm not a spring chicken. I've been around a few preludes in my many years. I'm telling you, this prelude's got something. It's particularly luxurious, like an ever luxurious, an anvil, the old anvil.
Hello there, my name is Robert Francis. You've
Don't let it fall on your head.
Schizophrenia YouTube channel, where me and the bird.
That's Mike. He's a wren. He flies in the sun over vast bodies of calm water.
This is the right here for reasons of my medical confidentiality.
Today's in
I'm a licensed clinical social worker times 15 years.
Michigan.
That's a lot of gabbing and chatting. I've been diagnosed with schizophrenia for a score 5 and 1.
Detroit.
And that puts a little gray fleck in my beard. Thank you for joining me on my channel.
Now to topic. To topic. I promised. This was a viewer especial. Somebody told me to describe my books real quick as a viewer especial, which is a viewer request if you're not familiar with viewer especial. In chronological order, on Conquering Schizophrenia, very philosophical, the story of my life with schizophrenia, how it came on, the symptoms, overcoming it. It's a story, too. It's just not about schizophrenia. It has a story as well with philosophical overtones, metaphysical overtones, and theological overtones. It took me 2 years to write. This was the book that took me the longest. The second book is The Essential Schizophrenic Opinion. I wanted everybody to know the very, very basics, the must-knows, the absolutely must-knows of schizophrenia. I just thought people needed to know certain things, so I wrote this book. And the great Ellen Sachs, who wrote the national bestseller, The Center Cannot Hold, she graciously wrote the foreword. Holy cow, thank you, Ellen. Everything you need to know on schizophrenia to hit the ground running. The next book was my classic delusions. I had to detail my episodic delusions from years ago because they were so fantastical. They were so amazing to consider in retrospect, these delusional episodes. They were funny in retrospect, and this book has a comic tone. I describe my delusions, but it's kind of in a comedic tone, and I detail many of my classic delusions. And it's really, really unbelievable that we can have delusions as such. You and me, we have these delusions, and they're really unbelievable at times. I had to put them down because they were incredible. I suffered at the time, but in retrospect, I found a lot of humor in the delusion. So I had to detail them. And lastly is Who's Who in Schizophrenia, the Legends and Icons Among Us. I had been in touch with a lot of the leading people from around the world on the topic of schizophrenia, and I did some interviews with like 10 of them, and I used them for my posts on social media. And one day I was like, gosh, I got all these great interviews with these great schizophrenia researchers. Gosh, I got to do something with them. And then I decided, it came to me like an epiphany. I was like, well, I could write a chapter on each person. And they agreed. I reached out and I said, can I do a chapter on you? And they said yes. I said, can I include the interview I did with you? And they said yes. I wrote the chapter. I sent it to them. They reviewed it and approved it, the interviews in the chapter. But I also write about their work on schizophrenia, what they did with their research, and also a little bit about their life and their contributions to schizophrenia. And they're like 10 of the most elite people in the world on schizophrenia in by different capacities, like genetics or medication or neurology or lived experience and such. Like Ellen is in here, Dr. Laitman, Dr. Amador, Dr. Carpenter, and Dr. Friston, and many others. A lot of great researchers and pioneers in schizophrenia. So I did that. So that's it. That's the viewer special. And those were my 4 books. And There's actually a fifth book, but I don't have a copy of it right now. It's called Schizophrenia Strengths Perspective. I wrote a book on, I got tired of all the doom and gloom about schizophrenia, and so I wrote a book about the strengths of schizophrenia. Schizophrenia Strengths Perspective. That was the fourth book, actually. Who's Who was the last. And all of that, of course, is very, very luxurious. It's a viewer special. Thank you for the request on the books. It's very, very luxurious, like an anvil. Don't let the anvil fall on your head. That's the whole trick of the matter. All right, thank you for the viewer special. We'll see you next time.